Okay, just waiting a bit. So, today I would like to show something quite interesting I have found, which also means I made some good progress on something new, which is about the dialogues. I have implemented something before, but I actually wasn't happy about that. But now I actually found a really cool project. And the name of this project is Ink or Inklo or something like that. So I actually don't have many details to talk about this. I just learned about it yesterday, but in a very short way, this is actually a mix of a language and a processor and a UI editor where one could write scripts for stories, going from very simple ones to the very complex ones. And it's really, really powerful. It's the most powerful tool I have ever found about this. So I quickly actually could implement it in the 12 game by using an asset that's actually offered for free in the unit asset store. And I'm going to show quickly here how I have made it. Actually, I want to show it actually the code, and so I'm actually going to show the results because I should be short on this one. So let's do it. Here is my project. This is the very first scene where you have a tutorial level where the player just start the game, right? So the player comes, they have to enter through this gate in here and then talk to this little girl. She's gonna introduce and welcome him, and then he starts in the game, right? And the name of this girl is Little Nose. And well, let's play and see how it is doing. All right, let's see. Maybe it should deserve. Actually, I have the song playing in my head, so let me stop it and let me get back in there. And if I go here and maximize it, it would look a little bit better. And here's the gate, right? When you can see the NPC is walking behind, I could walk here with this player, but when I enter this area, so the girl comes, and we'll start the dialogue. You can see that she moves her arms, which means she's interacting. So it's an animation for specifically the dialogue, and she shows a message, and then I can go to the next one. Peter, which is the main character here, also shows some animation, and then it goes back to her, and then the dialogue is ended, and then Peter is back able to walk. If I try it again, I can start the conversation. If I try to move, I'm pressing here the navigation keys, but he can't move, and I can just continue and do the same dialogue and all the way to the end. And if I stop this game and I go to this editor, this is where the beautiful thing is. What we have in here, actually let me go back there and show something quickly, which is the file. You can see here this folder dialog I just introduced today, the last few hours, and I had to write a couple of small classes in here to make it happen, but actually most of it is just linking stuff. And I create this other folder where we have this file. So we can create these files by going to create and ink. So this is already provided by the asset, and then I create the entry file, and from this entry file I was able to actually create the includes, which are separate smaller chunks that you can separate in here, and they are at the header of this file. So what I'm doing here, which I'm not 100% sure is the best practice yet, but it actually works pretty well. I declare some variables, for example, the current level, or actually the level we want to, the character name, and I eventually could have other variables here. And if I start the story just like this, you can see that it shows this sentence here: we are in Farmstead, task 0, and then player, column, something, and then another message. if I change this farmstead here to actually the level to mainland instead, you're gonna see we show something here different now, right, on the right hand side. And that's because when this variable has mainland, it goes to this mainland, and this mainland is a note that is declared in here. This note is very simple. I could write something like, oh, that's cool. And if I save, then I'm gonna show it there, right? If I go back to farmstead, you can see, well, actually, let's go here quickly. Let's change that to farmstead. And then it's back in here. In case I write something different, let's say another, then you're gonna see this we are no lag. That means it's a fallback, right? Okay, so let's go back and let's get take a closer look to the farmstead. In here we have just an introductory sentence, which actually is not really necessary because it's never gonna appear anyway. And I have again some conditioning here. So that means we have the note, which means the whole chapter, right? But per NPC in this level, I would have a separate subsection or subnote, right? And what we're gonna check here is if the variable character has a certain value, then it will default to this one. Actually, these conditions here are only used in my case for the navigation inside this editor, because via code I actually navigate to these specs directly via command call. So regardless of what you see here, it's gonna communicate directly here anyway, right? But this is quite helpful because I can define some tasks. For example, imagine in this game I'm gonna have 12 missions, one for each labor of Hercules, right? And for each of these missions, we're gonna have a couple of tests, something between 3 and 6. And depending on which task you have been made already, then the behavior of the NPC will be different, right? So if you interact with that little girl at the very entrance of the game, she's gonna say something, but if you come back to her later, she should be saying something else. And that's gonna happen for others. And the way I have classified it is that for the tasks, we're gonna have task name following this pattern, and they might be in the past, which means you already covered them, or already made them. They might be the current test, so you are still going to, in the way to finish it, or it's in the future, so you haven't even started it. And then it might have different communication here. So let's write a little bit different here. This is the current task in there. I'm not actually changing this yet because that's going to be provided via variable values. I haven't done that yet, but current is the fixed value I have in there. So if I have here something like, hey Peter, you're finally back. We've been missing you. And then Peter say, oh wow, that's true. We are again in summertime. And then Little Nose will get back to him and say, yay, then let's have fun. And Peter say, yep. And she says, by the way, Granny Benta is waiting for you inside. Cool, right? And then you can see in here all the text. This is actually way more rich. One could actually present things like choices and tags and plethora of things here. But let's stay in here, right? And then let's go back to Unity. Unity gonna generate these files. I actually don't know why it's complaining about this. Maybe, let's see. Well, I don't know. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, then we see what to do. All right, so we are back there, and then now we can actually play again. Oh, it actually says there are errors. So let's just take a look in here. Well, there are no issues reported. Anyway, Let's see. Then let's approach. And she says task 0 is the correct. Okay, so this is actually not the one we're looking for. Let's stop again. Maybe we can do the library. No, let's see, but that's not cool. Ink. Do we have ink? No. Ink player, and we can say content. Let's see, auto, whatever. No. Then restart maybe. Okay. We might want to actually. Oh, there's something wrong here. What's this? It shouldn't be there. Let's delete this file and restart. But there's something about compiling. We can say let's close this and reopen. Hopefully that's gonna get fixed by itself. Okay, while it's loading, you can even see it in here. It's actually already coming. That's nice. Okay. Maybe we should just save it again. Maybe is there anything here we can do about it? Yep. Let's put one more exclamation mark. And let's get back in here. It complains about this link library. Okay. Right. Okay, it's back. That's nice. All right. So let's play. Yes, let's see. Okay, we are back in there. Let's maximize it again and let's move. High nose. Good. And should be no. Okay. Let's see what we can do about this. Yes, it's just missing the JSON file. And that might mean we also need to import the JSON file in here. Alright. We also have to put in here. Let's apply and let's play again. Maximizing and let's move. Oh, and now you can see the magic, right? So the text is there. You can just continue. Let's keep going, and the conversation goes on, and we go to the last statement, and done. There's a couple of things I could do here. Of course, for example, I could add some different emotions, for example, surprise or warning or fear or cry, things like this. I definitely can improve it by forcing the characters to actually position in a way that we can see them better. For example, the girl here, it's behind this stick. She could be a little bit better here, right, positioned. We also could move the camera to have a better focus on them. So there's a couple of things we can do for sure. We also can, let's go here. Where are you? Okay. yeah, it's not working. But anyway, we could also let me go forward. Yes, you can see we have this avatar on the right hand side, which I generate from Blender, but we could have different avatars as well. We could even have different colors in here. We can also format this text, so all of this is possible, and you can do that by the mix of the power of Unity and what you can actually tag and qualify in link side. So I'm quite happy with this. I believe this is going to be a big move for the game, because now I actually have a tool that I can rely that's actually powerful. I can actually do some cool stuff with it. So that's really cool. Now we can actually see some stuff in here. We're gonna have more things to implement, of course, and I will be publishing. So that's it. Thank you for watching. That's it. Bye.